So as you start moving more and more into the remembrance of being a multidimensional being, and this journey starts unfolding, you start becoming awake to the ascension that's taking place within you and on the planet right now. So moving from the false matrix, fear, lack, programming, separation consciousness into the organic God source consciousness matrix, unity, understanding that these bodies, these divine vehicles that we have, underneath that, or actually, to be honest with you, your body's in your spirit and your soul. We are so much bigger than that, and we're all the same, we're all unified, we're all the same. As you start to embody that, remember that, because it is a remembrance. Yes, you can watch teachers and gurus, and this is what I have found. You can watch teachers and gurus who have awoken to it before you have. I haven't, but what they do is they don't tell you this is the reality. They tell you from their perspective, from their knowings, from what they have experienced with their connection to their multidimensional self, to their galactical teams. And by doing that, it triggers codes within the self. It triggers remembering and awakenings, because within we all have the knowing. And as we start to wake up to this multidimensional reality, and you can watch my video about what it means to be multidimensional, I'll link it below if you want to find out more. What it means is that we start to become aware of the paradox that is the spirit, the soul, the unified field. So one of those paradoxes is that you are the creator of your reality. You are the creator. You, your higher self, has orchestrated this life, has chosen, selected the body that you are in, has chosen, selected the environment that you were born into, knowing that that environment was the richest environment to give you the best probabilities of experiencing that which you wanted to experience, that which you wanted to learn and grow from and expand from, things that your higher self knew you would need to ultimately fulfill your divine soul blueprint. So you are the creator, we are the creators. So we are the creators, so that means when we're going through something that is difficult, well, from a higher perspective, whilst it can be hard to accept that, from the lower perspective, I do understand. We don't want to think that if we lose a partner, let's say, and obviously if we're going through grief, that is horrendous. I've never lost a partner that way, and I can't imagine how difficult that is. But if we go through that, it could be hard probably to accept that on some level. Together, you chose that you would experience that, but that is, the truth, that our higher selves do. We have chosen to experience these major events. Now, there is many possibilities because we have free will and we have choice, and that's one of the things that we get in this 3D matrix that we live in. We get choice, whereas that's because we're separate, we're in the separate consciousness, but we're moving from the separate consciousness into the unified consciousness, but we get choice. So we do have choice, so there is different probabilities, different possibilities that we can experience, but it's still finite in the sense that we've chosen major events to happen for ourselves. So in the fact that we are the creators, and so if we're experiencing something right now, then if you can hold the awareness that you don't have to be like overjoyed about it. Obviously if you're going through grief, you should feel your grief and go through your grief, or if you're going through a difficult situation, whatever that may be. But what if you just stopped and held that awareness? On some level, I created this for myself. I chose this. I said yes to this on some level. So the paradox to that is, because you chose it, you also have the solution for it. You also have a higher path to take from that experience. That experience is there to lead you to spiral upwards in consciousness. It's not there to bring you down to when you might feel like that as you're going through it, as we always do when we go through any major changes. But that's not the purpose of it. There is a higher purpose. There is some miracle, some blessing to unfold. There is always a solution. So you can imagine holding that awareness. I create this, but I am also the solution. And you can look at that with curiosity, holding that paradox, because the whole, you know, like I say, as you start to wake up to your multidimensionality, you start to realize all the paradoxes that really exist within the reality that we are in. So yes, I just wanted to share that with you and ask you to, as you're going through life, if you're going through something difficult, or even if you're not going through something difficult, if you're going through something and perhaps, you know, you're going through something, hold that awareness. Be curious about the fact that I am the creator of that. I created that, so therefore I am also the solution to that. And just be curious about it. Don't try and force the solution to come through, because when we force, we push away, basically, because that's how energy tends to work. If we push, if we force something, it pushes away. Whereas we are magnetic when we allow, when we acknowledge, when we allow ourselves to receive information. So just by acknowledging, okay, well, I created this, so I'm also the solution. The solution lies in me. And if you are wanting a solution for an experience, then don't try and force it. Like I say, usually it's quite hard if you try and force a solution, but just hold that knowing the solution is within, and the solution will come when I'm ready for the solution. And then put your focus on doing things that can bring as much joy, light, rest and relaxation. When we're in rest, when we're in relaxation, when we're doing things that make us feel good, that's when the solution's just gonna come on in.